Hey, thank you for clicking on my video. I have a great show planned for your day here. I'm going to be talking about the car loan crisis here on the Vibes by Clyde. First, we are going to preview the vibes. For the main event, we have a woman talking about how your car can price you out of life. She's going to give us a very good example of what that means. Also, we have some funny vibes here, where we talk about people spending all of their money on their cars. All right. And then we have Gloomy Vibes, where we get into some sad music about sad videos about how there are no more affordable used cars on the market. Go take a look for yourself and you'll see. Then we'll get into some real vibes, where we see Americans missing their car payments, and it is getting hectic out here. Also, we have some extra vibes for you, where we're going to look at some high car payments being normalized out here in the driving in the car market. All right. But first, we are going to check out this video of this young woman talking about what car poor is. Let's give her see what she
Okay,
has
so
to say.
first off, the definition of being car poor is spending beyond one's means on a car. That might look like owing more on an auto loan than the car is even worth, or paying more for your car than your income is worth, or it can just mean that yes, you can technically pay off your car every month, but it is leaving you financially tight, maybe even forcing you to live paycheck to paycheck.
All right. So that's a pretty good example of what car poor is. I'm pretty sure we all know maybe somebody like that who is just like you have somebody that work at
Okay,
your
so
job
first
maybe.
off,
Goodness, how do I do this? You have somebody that work at your job maybe, and they are just they got a new car. you know, you saw them driving a beat up old car 2 weeks ago. You heard it was in the shop. All of a sudden, it's gone. Where's it at? You heard, their car's gone, and you're like, wait, what happened to your car? And then you see them pull up in a brand new BMW with the top drop, and you're like, how are you affording this? Like we make the same car, we used to make the same amount of money. Like, what are you talking about? I know you had two kids and a wife. Like, what are you like? How did you make all this money? You know, People were just car poor out here, and yeah, we'll have a lot of examples of that because it's a reality in America here. But first, we are going to get into some funny vibes, and we have a funny video here of a guy who is crashing out because his car payments are higher than he thought they were, and we're gonna see from the car salesman's perspective. This guy's apparently eavesdropping. I don't know about y'all, but I eavesdrop sometime at work. I'm putting my ear to the door and I'm like, yo, what they talking? Son, I don't care. I honestly I don't care about work drama. I can care less. People try to tell me about work drama and I'm like, yeah, look, I don't care. You can stop talking because most likely I don't care. All right, so let's see what this. Oh, sorry about that. Let's hear this guy crash out about his car payments that he just found out. Oh, I thought I was playing it.
Me one more time, you do, and I don't care about none of it, nigga.
All right, so look at his face. Yeah, I think this guy is hilarious. He has a lot of videos. Um, anyway, sorry. So yeah, we're gonna see that a lot though. About how people are really just living above their means. And, when you live above your means, you have a hard time keeping track of your car payments and things like that. Make sure you drop a like on this guy's videos and follow him. His name is Sean Thompson, uh, six, I'm sorry, 864. I just saw one of his videos. All right, so, oh, I gotta edit this. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's not what I want. Sorry, we're doing it live out here. Okay, we're doing it live, people. Okay. Here we go. All right, somebody says, just financed a just financed a C8 for 72 months, $1,700. A oh my gosh, 14.5 interest. Okay, now that's crazy. I hope that that's a lie. I'm hoping that this person is exaggerating because that's egregious. 1,700 a month for 72 months. Look, you can get a whole nother apartment. You can rent a whole apartment out and have your sugar baby live in that joint. It's like, no, all right, don't rent out apartments for your sugar babies. Okay. Anyway, it says somebody says when he comes out the room and head towards you. Yeah. Oh man, I guess we're missing all the pictures. I guess they have some type of some pictures here that we're not able to see. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this live, okay, people, because I don't know what is going on with my video, but it's like, it's not. Okay, there we go. All right, see, we got it. We got it. See, one little short fix. Okay, because I was like, what is going on with the words? All right. Anyway, so somebody else says, I don't mind the finance department trying to sell something. What bothers me is when they act like they actually care about the interest. Yeah, let's be real. They have forgotten my name before the salesperson sets up the Bluetooth. Yep, that's true. Yeah, so if you think these people care about you, I guarantee they don't. you know. I mean, you can think they do though. If it makes you feel better, I promise you, they care about you. Okay, they do. They're thinking about you when they get home. Like, I hope they're enjoying that car I sold them last night. But no, they don't care about you. I promise they don't. They, yeah, they don't. All right, we're just gonna talk about some of the things that end up making your estimated cost a lot higher than the final cost. You get back there in the finance office and they're telling you all these add-ons and insurance and stuff, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on, I didn't sign up for this. And yeah, yeah, okay, so you're gonna hear a lot about that. Anyway, so you have things like tinted windows and floor mats and things like that. That'll really drop the price up. And honestly, you're probably better off just buying it. You're probably better off just buying it from from a a car dealer, a car detail place. So if you're gonna get extra things like tinted windows and things like that, just get it separately, because you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna add interest on top of the labor and the materials. So if you get it done at the dealership, they're gonna put it all into your monthly payments. They're gonna put those tinted windows right into your monthly payment. So instead of doing like $400 for some tinted windows, for the labor and the tint, now it's gonna be $600 because of interest. So you really want to make sure you pay for those things separately. And floor mats can be cheap. You can get those off Amazon, Walmart. Come on, people. You don't have to do all that. Like I said, the warranty is gonna cost you, but you really want the warranty. So I would suggest you get that warranty, because you're not trying to drive off the parking lot and then have something happen in your car a few months to maybe a year or two. I think that's probably about how long the warranties last. Yeah, but you don't want to get out there and have to deal with something that could have been prevented by having warranty. I would also recommend getting the maintenance package, because the maintenance package can really help you out. Because who wants to come out their pockets every few months for some maintenance? At least even especially for the first 2 years. You just got the car, you're still trying to get used to the payments. You're really trying to adjust your finances. You don't need another payment that you could have paid here. So I would recommend getting the warranty and maintenance package there. Also, now we're gonna get into another topic: how people spend all their money on their car. So I have a really funny video here about a guy who is paying too much money on his. He's paying too much money on this car, and like I said, you can work at a gas station, oops, sorry about that. You could be working at a gas station or somewhere else, and you can try to get a car, and you're gonna price yourself out of life. And I'm here telling y'all, we gotta boss up, people. We can't be making irresponsible financial decisions. I want y'all to really get out here and really take care of your finances and make money, but also don't spend too much money. I've heard a really good quote from a guy here on YouTube. His name is Jack. His first name is Jack. Jack Morgan. Yes, Jack Morgan. He said, what do you say? A man with no bills is a rich man. Okay, I believe that wholeheartedly. Okay, like I'm like, you know what? That's true.
This motherfucker don't miss.
You don't miss. Yeah, I mean that's true. I'm like, yeah, now I don't know if he got that from somebody, but yeah, he's right about that. You need to make sure you keep your bills low, if possible, for as long as possible, until you start bossing up and making decent money, because I don't want to see y'all out here. I don't want to see you out here, man, struggling because you wanted to get a new car. So let's watch this video of this guy who is paying way too much. I forgot to unmute it. This guy's paying way too much for his car.
Yo, bro, appreciate that burger you made me. It was fire.
Yeah, I got
you
you.
getting off of work right now?
Yeah, I'm getting off right now.
All right, bro, I'll see you. Wait, hold on. Bro, this your car?
Yeah, that's mine. What's up?
Bro, I thought you work at the gas station.
I do work at the gas station. It's just, I spend all my money on this car, bro. It's cool.
You spent all your money on this car?
Yeah.
Like,
I live here. I don't really eat food, really.
you don't eat food?
No, not really. So I just, it's cool, bro.
Bro, you make dumb
I got a
financial
Hellcat,
decisions, bro.
All right, bro.
You make dumb financial decisions.
He said you make dumb financial decisions. And that's true. Please, people. Hey, man, please, man, don't make dumb financial decisions. I don't want to see you out here, you know, living in your car because all you can afford is your car. You know, don't be out here trying to, you know, trying to work for your car instead of work for yourself. First, make money for yourself, then buy a car that you can afford at least, please. Come on. Come on, please. All right. Hey, I'm begging you, man. I'm trying to help you boss up out here, man, because I'm also trying to boss up. And we need to boss up together, because I promise you, I'm not bossed up yet, okay? This is the first step of me trying to boss up. I'm a new YouTube content creator. You know, I'm the whole show here. I do everything. I do the editing. I do the videos. I do the uploading. I do everything here. You know, so hey, look out for me, man. Give me some respect. I'm out here trying. Okay, and I'm hoping you get out here and try too. And I am all 100% for you if you were to boss up and make something of yourself, because as you can see, these car prices are going up and they're not coming back down. They're not coming back down. All right. So somebody said, bro, I work at a fast food place. Okay. Reading with Clyde. Let's try again. It says, bro, I work in a fast food place and half the people coming through this with scats and Hellcats where they have their cars declining. Yes, I believe that. And Hellcats are nice, but usually it's by somebody who's poor. I'm sorry. If you got a Hellcat, how much money do you got in your bank account? Do you have more than $2,000 in your bank account? At least. Because, please, come on. Especially a new one. If you got a brand new one, a 2025, look, I'm looking at you like, wait a minute. I'm looking at you like,
Are you done?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
yeah, I'm looking at you like, who are you? Because I'm like, how are you making these payments, bro? Like, especially if you work at a job that I know don't pay that much. Somebody says, me about to put 30K down on a wide body scat this summer. Dude, please don't. Let me see what the reply is. I'm hoping somebody's trying to talk this person out, because that sounds like a terrible financial decision. Can we see the reply? I think that's the reply. Somebody said, I love cars, but I don't want to work. Maybe it mean I love cars. Okay. I love cars, but I don't want to work always just to pay my car and an apartment, especially with prices. It's better to own a house. Okay, see, he's talking about something different. He's talking about owning a house. We talking about cars, man. Stay on the subject, okay? Somebody says, bro owns the gas station. Maybe he does own the gas station. You know what? If you do own that gas station, buy yourself a Hellcat. Okay, that's what I mean. If you own a gas station at that point, you deserve your Hellcat. I think you really need to spoil yourself once you bossed up and once you make decent money, good money. Have a business, have multiple streams of income. Then you can get you a Hellcat. Okay, because I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to see nothing about you driving. I don't want to see you driving around in a Hellcat if you ain't got your money right. Okay, all right. I need to make sure. Wait a minute, where is it at? I don't think I can find it. Oh man, you know what? I can't find it. Okay, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I was trying to play one of my soundboards. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm new at this. Okay, I'm still trying to learn my soundboard, when to use them, how fast they come in. Okay, I'm still trying to learn. Okay, I found it, but it's too late now. Okay, anyway, it says I know a guy who got a new GMC truck that works 3 jobs to pay it with insurance, and he has a kid. Okay, that's crazy. Please. You got a new truck, but you got you got a kid, and you're working 3 jobs. Please, man. Please, people, don't be like that guy. Don't be like that guy. Come on, man. I got faith in you, man. You don't have to be like him. I got faith in you, man. Just don't be like that guy, man. Don't be out here trying to impress people. All right, so it says yeah, people spend all their money on their cars. They might buy some rims, some premium gas, and car payments. Hey, that premium gas is gonna get you every time. You got that nice car, and you're like, whatever, premium gas. What is it, like 5 cents, 10 cents more? I got it. No, I saw those premium gas prices. They are not cheap. Sometimes it can be almost $1 more. You need to sit down and get you a car that takes the regular gas. Okay. And then the car payment is going to really sink you. And God forbid something happens to your car, because that would be a nightmare. Anyway, somebody says, I'm sorry, not somebody. I said, can't afford if you can't afford it and you're just trying to impress strangers, you need to really relook at your life and think what you're doing here. Why do these people matter so much? I promise you, people don't care about your life that much. You might think you're impressing people, but they're looking at nobody cares. I'm telling you, like, if you get a new car, you think you'll get all the girls? You might get some girls. You might. But once they find out you don't got no money because you're spending all your money on your cars, they're not going to be there anymore. Okay. Also, cars can be a status symbol. I'm going to tell you one thing. I love BMWs. Okay. Look at me here. Okay. BMW is my dream car. If you ever see me driving a BMW, just know that I'm exactly where I want to be. Just know I have found a way to boss up out here. I found a way to boss up, and I'm doing well. Okay, just know that, because that is my dream car. Now I know the maintenance is crazy. That's why I don't want to get one. But once I bossed up, maintenance is going to be like, I'm going to have money socked away for maintenance. I'm going to have money ready for when that car breaks down, because I know it will. For when I get an oil change, because I know I need to get oil changes. And I'm assuming oil changes on BMWs are expensive. But hey, I'm willing to get it because I love BMWs. I think they look so sexy. They look so sexy. Man, I want me a BMW. Anyway, also I want a Camaro. Camaro, BMW. I don't mean all at the same time. All right. But if I couldn't have them all at the same time, even better. Camaro, BMW, and Challenger. Yeah, those are my 3 dream cars. So if you see me, especially with a BMW, just know I made it. Just know I just made it. Just know I got the money. Just know I'm reining it in at this point. Okay. Anyway, so we got yep. Those cars are depreciating every mile you drive. So keep that in mind. Once you get a car, you drive it off the lot, that car is depreciated in value, and it's not a good investment. You know. Also, you might spend too much money on your car if you have impulse buying. Not if you have impulse buying, but if you're prone to impulse buying, okay? So don't go up in a car, don't go if you know you are prone to impulse buying, don't go into a expensive car lot, okay? Don't walk onto a Mercedes-Benz parking lot, a car dealership, thinking, I'll just take a look at the cars. Because you will walk away with a car that you cannot afford because you are impulse buying. Please don't impulse buy, you know? Once they get you in that car and they take you, you driving on that, what is it called? Doing that test drive. When you doing that test drive and you behind the wheel and you smelling the car, you feeling the car, you thinking about driving past your haters, waving at them, you know. You thinking about the girls you about to drive past and stop by. What's up, girl? How you doing? I like it too. You like it? Get on in there. Let me show you what I got in there. You know, that was my best attempt on picking up a girl in the car. I don't think people do that anymore. That's probably what is it? It's probably a Gen X thing. But hey, I mean, look, if I had a nice car, maybe, maybe at a gas station, you could probably pick up a girl at a gas station. Just park. You see a girl park pumping her gas, slide up next to her, you know, turn up the music a little bit so you get her attention. Take a look at her, just give her a little nod. Hey, if she give you a nod back, you in there. If she don't, go on about your business. Just go on about your business because you probably ain't gonna get that. and she is probably not impressed. You need to upgrade your car or upgrade your life. Okay. Anyway, will real wealth is not shown. Okay. Real wealth is savings, investments, retirement. That's what wealth is. Wealth is invisible money. You see those rich people? They walk around with they walk around with their little cheap, you know, uh, their little cheap clothes or cheap looking clothes at least. You know, they making money, but you don't know. Also, it's probably better to look poor. I see a lot of rich people that I know is rich, and they just be having sweatpants on, old dingy sweaters. I think they just know they got money and they're not trying to get robbed. They're like, look, I'm trying to look as normal as possible. All right. But yeah, like I said, cars are a bad investment because they depreciate in value. Unless you get one of those like antique cars or like one of those cars where you can just I don't know, soup it up, upgrade it, to the maximum. Now, hey, I'm not saying you should upgrade your car. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should get a regular car and upgrade it and everything. Because I'm pretty sure you probably still ain't gonna get that much money for it. I'm saying if you get like a old looking car, but then you put a new engine in there, you put some nice rims on there. But at that point, you're probably putting way more money in than what you got. But yeah, don't let the car own you though. I don't want to see you out here driving a nice car, and you like, yeah, I got this nice car, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nice, but who owns who here? Okay. Who owns who? Like, I'm not trying to. I don't want to see. I don't want to be thinking like, okay, so which one is the master here? Do you own the car or do the car own you? Like, I need to know this because it's looking like the car owns you at this point. If you really out here with no money, you know, your car's like, get back out there and work. What you doing out here? Get out there and work. I need more gas. Put some more gas in me before I oughta. Anyway, so next we're gonna talk. Yeah, because I'm about to do too much. Um, Next we're gonna talk about how. Oh, we're gonna see a guy who is trying to buy a car with bad credit, and yeah, it's a phone call, and I think it's hilarious. So yeah, please don't do this. Okay, don't try to buy a car with bad credit unless it's like the last resort. Like, hey, I need a car right now. I need to get to work. I just applied for the job and I got it. It's a good paying job. I need to get a car right now. You know, I'm not able to have, I don't have time to fix my credit. I need to get it right now. Okay. So we're going to watch this guy. It says, when a customer with a 350 credit score tries to buy a vehicle. Okay, let's see. I forgot to take that. Forgot to unmute it. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this conversation goes. A 350 credit score. Oh my goodness gracious! What have you done with your life to get a 350 credit score? All right, let's see.
Why you didn't tell me your credit look like this? Your credit don't make no damn sense. We tried to talk to the banks and they said absolutely no way in the world. I mean, Lord have mercy. You don't pay nobody. If we give you a car, we might as well just burn it on fire because we ain't gonna make no money from you. I talked to the bank owner, the CEO, the CFO, the manager, the sales rep there. Everybody said no. Stop asking me. You cannot get no Tahoe. It's a no-no. You ever thought about paying a bill? This is what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna buy you a new pair of sneakers because you're gonna have to keep walking.
He said, "I'm gonna buy you a new pair of sneakers so you can keep walking." 'Cause that's about all you can afford is to walk. Yeah, I wouldn't advise. I wouldn't advise that at all. I wouldn't advise trying to buy a car with bad credit because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you are going to get interest crazy. You're going to get crazy interest. It's going to be like, what is this? The car was not this expensive. You bought a car for 50K and now it's 75, 80K. You're like, what happened here? What happened? And your car loans is going to be crazy. And your car payments are going to be crazy. And you're going to set yourself up for the worst failure. Okay? Um so yeah, I would don't buy a new car with what's it called, with bad credit, please. Okay, trying to help you out here. Hey, I'm not. Once again, I'm not a financial guru. I'm not a financial guru. Okay, I do not have all the answers, or even most of the answers. I don't have many answers at all. I'm just out here figuring it out, just like you, with you. We're figuring it out at the same time. Hey, we are learning together. Okay. All right. All right. So it says, try not to price shop. That's a big one because people come in and they're like, hey, you know what? I want a low down payment. I want to make sure I go in there, get me a low down payment, but I got like maybe $700 a month. I can pay $700 a month every month. It's gonna hurt me a little bit, but I can do it. I can do $700 a month. For how long? I can figure this out. You know, you're gonna shoot yourself right in the foot, right there. Just get a gun. Aim it down at your foot and just go ham. Because you're gonna be paying that car off for a long time. You're gonna age a good 8 years. You might as well get a 10 year. What is it called? A 10 year lease. I mean, a 10 year loan on that car. It's going to take you about that much. That's if you're price shopping for expensive cars. But you got to watch out for that because if you tell them, hey, I got $700. I want the payment to be $700. They're gonna be okay. I got you. Say less, and proceed to destroy your life with a smile. And like we said, they're not gonna forget. They're not gonna remember you. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I wonder what happened to that guy who bought that car. No, no, they're not. They're not thinking about you, my guy. Yeah, like I said, try to fix your credit before. Try to fix your credit before you go out and get a car. You need at least a good couple, a good. You need some months. You're gonna need a lot of months to fix your credit, but at least try to get into the motion of fixing your credit because you can also refinance. So if you're fixing your credit before you get a car, and then you get a car, and then you continue improving your credit, you can then refinance and hopefully get a lower down payment. But it might also make it longer. But hey, trade offs here. You can't really win either way. So if you got under a 580 credit score, just consider your credit score low. Okay, I'm sorry. Uh, Brett, and also you can check you can get a free credit score every year, or you can go to something like Credit Karma, but those aren't really as accurate. So anyway, bad credit card. Anyway, if you get a car with bad credit, you're going to end up having high interest, and you're also going to end up having a lot of you're going to end up paying that car for a long time. And I don't want to see you paying this car off for 10 years because you're cool. You're cool people. So I like you. And I don't want to see you out here doing a car payment for 10 years. Because before you pay the car payment off, the car is going to be into the ground, and you're going to be paying for another car. Also, try to get a cosigner. Now, I would try to find somebody who's trustworthy and who has your best interest at heart because and also don't mess them up. Don't mess their credit up. If you get somebody to co-sign in your car, that is a huge favor. Okay, that person is putting some of their financial life in your hands. Okay, so if you have a nice sibling or a nice uncle or cousin or parent, just try your best. Okay, you should be paying your rent and your car payment at the same time, or treat them just as seriously because they are. They're probably the most important things you can pay for. Also, make sure you save a good down payment. If you do a good down payment, that will set you up for a shorter term paying, and it can set you up for lower monthly payments. So I would definitely advise for that. So yeah, the next segment is gloomy vibes. I just like doing that. Gloomy vibes. All right, let me stop. All right, so we're gonna watch this poor woman here. She's gonna be going through some financial stress here, and she's just gonna have to sit there and watch her. Oh, my fault. She's gonna have to sit there and watch her car get repoed. Now I don't know if anybody's ever watched their car get repoed before, but it's gotta be traumatizing. You know, I don't wish this on my worst enemy, just because you know your your financial life is pretty ruined right there. You know, because like it's like, okay, so how am I gonna get to work? One, also, how am I going to? You might have to pay some more on that car, so that's another thing. And then you also have the situation where you oh, sorry about that. You might also have the situation where you're one life emergency away from you know getting repo. So if you have high payments, you can't pay them. Now you're screwed. Now you're gonna get those calls, those emails, and you're gonna be like, "Oh man, it's about to go down." All right, so we're gonna watch this video from this lady. She's going to just give us it's a little short video. She's just going to show us her point of view of watching her car get repoed. There's not much to say here, but it says, watching the car I bought with taxes get repoed because I can't afford it no more. I can't afford it no more. I can't afford it no more. I had to use some ebonics there, but no more means no more, obviously. Anyway, so let's watch her car get repoed.
Who y'all gonna give it to? They taking it to parts.
Yeah, they work with expensive cars like this. So sometimes there is something useful, so they just
Use it for parts. Okay.
Yeah, so that was a pretty sad video of a woman just watching her car get repoed. And like I said, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, just because, it can really mess up your life, especially if you have kids and they have places to go, you know. They need to go to school, maybe they need to go to the dentist, and yourself even. Like, you have places to go. You need to get laundry, you need to, well, not laundry. You need to get uh groceries is what I want to say. You need to get groceries, you need to get a lot of things for yourself. You need to get to work, you know. So yeah, that can be devastating for somebody to go through. And yeah, you can be one life emergency away if you have extraordinary car payments. And because if you got extraordinary car payments, just think about it. Like, if you have high car payments, you also have to pay for gas. It's invisible costs like gas, repairs, maintenance, you know. And God forbid you get into an accident, or something happens to your car while you're not in it, you know, and you have to pay for that, then you're screwed, you know. And if it gets totaled, then you're even more screwed. 'Cause now you gotta get a whole nother car. Um, so yeah, and there are warning signs. Like, you can get you can get letters in the mail, you can get emails, you can get calls, text messages, all from the people that you owe money to get that car. Because I promise you, they don't want to take that car from you. They really want you to make those payments, you know. And if you're not making those payments, they're gonna be like, okay, well, last last resort, it's taking it from you. But yeah, some people try to avoid their repos by maybe hiding a car, maybe hiding in somebody else's parking, somebody else's garage. Hey neighbor, can I store my car in your garage for a few months because I need to make sure I catch up on these bills. Then when I pay it, they could take the maybe I can avoid them taking my car. You know, I don't know how that whole situation works, but that's one way to try to hide your car. Maybe locking the gate to your house. Maybe they try to park away from your house. Maybe they might not see you, but they know your tag number, so you're not really getting away that much. Come on, people. And also, like I said, you could still owe money on that car. So imagine paying for a car that you don't even own anymore. That's got to be the worst feeling ever. You know. And at that point, it would just have to be you would just have to be like, you know what, screw it. You just had to be like, you know what, it's gone. But remember, repo people are regular people too. That woman in that video, she was really devastated, but she was really respectful to the guy. She realized that, he's a regular person out here, just like you and me. We both got to make money out here. This person probably got a name, address, time, dates. That's all he got. And then he went to do his job. That's all he did. So try not to curse these people out. Actually, no. Hey, you, don't curse people out, bro. Don't be out here cursing the repo guy out if you end up getting your car repoed, you know, because you don't also want you also don't want the cops to come. You got your car repoed and the cops came. Now they putting charges on. You don't want all that, man. Just let the guy take your car. Don't get mad at him. You should have been on the payments. I don't know what happened in your life, but hey, I'm pretty sure it had to be bad if they had to take your car away. But it should be a wake up call, though. I'm pretty sure getting your car repoed is a big wake up call for anybody going through that situation because it can be devastating. And it can be a wake up call to make you think, like, hey, how am I going to, you know, fix my life? What am I going to do to really fix this financial aspect about my life? You know? So make sure you pay your car payments on time. It should be the first thing you think about.
Back in the day, decade ago, I used to be able to go on Facebook Market.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm still trying. Hey, once again, new content creator here. Okay. I think I can do that for a good week or so. When I make mistakes like that. But yeah, I'm a new YouTuber, so hey, give me some time. I'm doing all this by myself. Okay, it's just me. Just me. Okay. It's a one man show here. I'm doing all the editing, all the videos, all the everything, cause like I said, I'm trying to keep my bills low. Okay. So let's watch this guy. He is going to. Oh, sorry about that. He's going to talk about how there are no affordable used cars out here, and I think he is correct. And this is something that I started looking into because I recently paid my car off, so I am really thinking about getting another car because my miles are getting up there on my car. And I was thinking, let me get a used car. And now looking at the prices, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, this guy has a video about a minute and a half long, and he really goes in on how there are no reasonable cars out here, and I believe him because hey, like I said, I looked on the job market, on the car market, and I saw some really old cars. Okay, some cars with some really high mileage, and those cars were asking, those people were asking for way too much. I was like, this is ridiculous. Okay, so yeah. Also, I bought my car before COVID, and I'm assuming all of this high car payment stuff increased rapidly after COVID. So we're gonna let this guy take it away and see what he says about this.
Decade ago, I used to be able to go on Facebook Marketplace with a cool little $4,000 or $5,000 and get me a little car, like a 2010 Honda Civic. Fast forward to today, and $4,000 or $5,000 still only get me a 2010 Honda Civic, maybe a 2012. Man, I used to get on there with a cool couple $1,000s and get a little beater, something that would go from point A to point B. Now you get $4,000 or $5,000 saved up, go on Facebook Marketplace. They got a shit on there that's barely working, if it's working at all. And don't get me wrong, there are a few cars that are still a few $1,000s that can run and get you from point.
I'm sorry, I don't know what the heck that sound is. Hold on. Okay, let's rewind.
With a cool little $4,000 or $5,000 and get me a little car, like a 2010 Honda Civic. Fast forward to today, and $4,000 or $5,000 still only get me a 2010 Honda Civic, maybe a 2012. Man, I used to get on there with a cool couple $1,000s and get a little beater, something that would go from point A to point B. Now you get $4,000 or $5,000 saved up, go on Facebook Marketplace. They got a shit on there that's barely working, if it's working at all. And don't get me wrong, there are a few cars that are still a few $1,000s that can run and get you from point A to point B, but they are few and far between. I'm talking the used cars are sacred these days.
Yeah, and I believe that too because it's like it's hard. Yeah, I thought that dumb noise, I thought that was from my sound box, but I guess it's from the video. That's why I restarted it. But it's really distracting, so I wish you would have took it out. Anyway, let's hear the rest of the video.
Especially the reliable ones. The Hondas, the Mazdas, the Toyotas, they're gonna be a little bit more expensive. I seen somebody yesterday selling a 2007 Honda Accord with 250,000 miles on it for $7,000. You ain't selling that. I remember back in 2012, I bought my first car. It was a 1996 Mazda Protege. I bought it for $1,200, and I had to put maybe like $400 in it, and it ran until the wheels fell off for like a year. But now I go in there with $1,200, I could barely buy a used scooter.
All right, yeah, those bells really distracted me. I had a hard time listening to that guy. I don't know what about you? I had a hard time. Anyway, this guy, here's his name on TikTok. If you want to follow him, drop him a like, drop him a follow if you like that guy. Anyway, yeah, that was distracting. I missed some of what he said just because I was like, yo, how do I get this dom solo noise off of my freaking, off my video? Anyway, but yeah, pretty much he was talking about how these used car prices are out of control. I mean, they are ridiculous. And yeah, like I said, I think it skyrocketed after COVID, because car parts and also chips and things like that kind of made it harder for people to manufacture cars. And then people wasn't buying cars either because everybody was locked in for like a half a year or whatever, or maybe a year and a half. I forgot. Anyway, it was 2020, so hey, leave me alone. Also, yeah, like they're selling old cars and cars over 100K for like way too much money, like 15, $20,000, and it is ridiculous. You can go on a Facebook Marketplace, or you can find somebody on Craigslist or somewhere on one of these little, one of these little sites, but you might not get that much better deals there, And also, there's pros and cons for dealing with. Excuse me. There's pros and cons for dealing with dealers versus dealing with, uh, you know, private citizens who are trying to sell their cars. Uh, for instance, some perks for working with dealers is that you get some, you might get high prices, you know, but also still you might still get some protection. Like they might still offer, what is it called, a warranty, things like that. They might still offer, where hey, drive it for 30 days and you can bring it back, So I would say that it's you're a little more safe getting it from a dealer, but the price is going to be more expensive because you got to pay the dealer and you got to pay everybody that bought the car there, and all the extra stuff that they did before they gave you the car. So yeah, you're gonna pay a lot more from the dealers, but the sellers aren't any better. The sellers are out here trying to rob you too. They put their little lame car on Facebook Marketplace. Hey, my car got 200,000 miles, and I'm trying to sell it for $10,000. You'd be like, what? Did you just say 10,000 miles? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's a 2010. What? A 2010 car, 2,000, and you want to sell it for 10K? Like, what do you think you have here? So I'm gonna pay 10K so I can drive this car for 10 months. If that's what you're trying to say. If it gets there, maybe 10 weeks at this point. Anyway, but yeah, some people rather buy a car and fix it, you know, than get a new car. But that's also gonna bankrupt you, because then you still gotta make sure, these car prices are not cheap. They got some. I mean, these car parts are not cheap. You think you're escaping one thing, and then you got another thing. You know, so there's pros and cons. Uh, like I said, you might have a longer financing where you got to pay like over 7 years or near 7 years. I thought the longest was 5 years until I saw that. Anyway, we're gonna get into some real vibes here, and it is a news article. Um, yeah, we have a news article about the car market, the car buying market. So I found an article here. I think you know what? Anyway, all right, all right. So So I'm just gonna play a little bit of this. I'm not gonna read it because reading with Clyde is terrible. I butcher all the words here. I'm gonna butcher all the words here if you let me read this whole story. I'm gonna be like, and then, my brain is already fried, you know, but it's a little bit
Stay
better
up
than
to,
it's a little
stay
bit
up to
better
date
than
with
last time.
notifications from
Okay, yeah, it's a little bit better than last time though, because last time I was
last year. 1.7
Let me talk. Calm down. All right, look. Hey, like I said, I made another mistake here, and I'm gonna blame it on me being a new YouTuber. Okay, new YouTuber here, just making common errors. Okay, playing a video before it's ready to start. Anyway, the title says, "What do missed car payments mean for the economy? A trend that was apparent before the Great Depression." Now that's where it's going to hit really hard for us here. Okay, yeah, it's going to hit pretty hard here. Let me just fix something really fast. Yeah, but pretty much they're going to talk about how they think this whole situation here is is the calm before the storm. Let's just say that, a calm before the storm. All right, let's hear some of this article.
3 million vehicles were repossessed, which is the highest number since the year following the 2008.
I'm sorry, did I start wrong? Okay, let's start here.
An increasing number of Americans are falling behind on their car payments, mimicking a trend commonly seen at the start of major economic downturns. Last year, 1.73 million vehicles were repossessed, which is the highest number since the year following the 2008 financial crisis, according to a report by the CFA seen by the Wall Street Journal. Delinquencies, defaults, and repossessions have shot up in recent years and look alarmingly similar to trends that were apparent before the Great Recession, said the report.
All right, now that's important what he said. They said it's a trend that happened before the Great Depression. Well, the Great Recession. Yeah, the Great Recession. And pretty much they're saying that that's what's it called? A prerequisite or a antecedent. That's a good word. Um, so you really want to check out these trends, because what is it called? History is the best. Uh, what is it? History is the best teller of the future, something like that. I'm gonna get it and watch. I'm gonna remember while I'm sleeping. I'm gonna be sleeping like, that's what it was. History is the best teacher. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's the one. Yeah. Let's scroll down here. We're gonna skip some of these words and go down to this paragraph. Let's hear what they gotta say.
Delinquency, which refers to being late on loan repayments, can devastate investor confidence and lead to an economic crash. According to data analysts at J.D. Power, almost 1 in 7 car buyers has a credit score below 650. That is the highest level of people with lower credit scores taking out car loans since 2016.
Now that's a big one too. They said basically a lot of people are out here buying cars with low credit scores. And if a lot of people have low credit scores, all that means is that, a lot of people not paying their bills. That's all that means. And because a lot of people need cars. America's coming to a place where most places you need a car at. Even the places, even like the cities, even cities are becoming more car friendly, with Uber and everything. And, we got public transportation that's not on time or public transportation that's just ridiculously expensive. And it's like, yeah, I might as well get a car. If I'm gonna pay to get robbed every week for this car payment, for this bus pass, I might as well be sitting in my own comfortableness inside of a car, you know. So yeah. Let's finish up here.
These are borrowers who may have stretched their budgets to afford a higher price of the asset, as well as a higher payment because of the interest rate, said.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just people out here trying to buy cars and like everybody. Maybe you got somebody who just turned 21. Hey, I want to get a car. I want to be riding out here with my friends. I want to be outside. Let me get a car. People fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, they're like, I need a car because I need to start my life journey. to making money out here. But we all know that a lot of jobs aren't paying really well for entry level positions. So you get out, you want to feel independent. You want to feel like, hey, hey, I arrived. I'm an adult now. First thing you need as an adult to make yourself feel older is a car, your own car, so you can get around, go where you need to go, be more independent, and yeah, it's going to hit you upside the head when you see that these car payments are out of control, and you're not going to have a high credit score because you just got out here. You just started building your credit. I just got my credit. What you mean? Anyway, let's hear what else this article has to say.
In addition, car prices are higher than ever, with the average vehicle selling for nearly $50,000, according to another CFA report. The spike in prices often means that car payments are among the highest bills that households have to pay. That has led to 1 in 5 new car buyers having a loan that lasts for up to 7 years.
All right, and that's important. Also, a lot of car payments are stretching now. Like I said, I thought the highest car payment was I thought the longest you could pay a car off was, what is it, like 5 years? I was like, man, 5 years? That's going to take forever. And now I see people out here with 7 year car loans, and not only 7 year car loans, but 7 year car loans that are like over $800. And I'm like, you got to pay this car for 7 years for over $800. Like, are you trying to destroy your own life? You are literally one bad decision away from losing everything. 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 And it's like, yo, like,
Are you done? Are you done?
are you done? Like, hey, like, you're gonna be looking at your car payment like, I'm still not done. you know. By the time you're done paying that car off, it's gonna be well beyond its years. It's gonna be well over 100,000 miles. And yeah, you're gonna be paying for it with stress, emotional stress, financial stress. Yeah. So that's gonna be the nail in the coffin for people right there. All right, let's just get to the bottom of the article where we have this part.
Still, the minutes underscored the deep division on the 19-person committee between those who feel that the
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we don't care about that either. I'm sorry. I thought that was important. Then I started hearing, I'm like, that sounds like some political stuff. Nobody feel like hearing about that. Anyway, yeah, but pretty much, I just want to say people are really, really paying out the, let's say, behind. Okay, I'm trying to keep this PG. Okay, this is my first YouTube channel, so I'm trying to keep everything clean. I'm not trying to accidentally break any rules. Okay, so you want to get clean language from me. Okay, all the time. I'm trying to make this family friendly. Okay, I don't know if I'm family friendly. I just paid like 3 videos of people cursing people out. But hey, you know, life is life. All right. So anyway, people missing car payments. So yeah, that was the Real Vibes video article. So yeah, even middle income Americans are losing out, and it's becoming a domino effect. Like first you miss a payment, and then it crashes your debt. You miss a payment, then it messes up your credit, and then you get a repo, and now your credit's even more messed up. Now you try to buy a car, and now you got way higher payments. What's going to happen again? Now that you got higher payments, it's going to be another domino effect. You're going to miss some payments. Then your credit's going to get even worse. And then guess what? You might get another car repo. And it's just going to be a snowball effect where, you can't really win out here. I know I have that sound bite. No, I can't find it. Okay, I don't have enough time to find it. Anyway, I like that one. Yeah, I can't find it. Anyway, um, you're gonna get yourself into a situation where you can't really win because it's just gonna spiral. You know, one bad decision and then another bad decision and then another bad thing happens, and now you are all the way down in the depths. You know. So yeah, like I said, you might need to refinance your car. I refinanced my first car, and it made my car payments lower, yes, but it made me have to pay it longer, and that's where it's gonna kick you right in the pocket. right in the pockets as hard as they can. All right. Now we're going to get into extra vibes. Okay, now we're getting into the extra vibes. We are almost to the main event. All right, so here we go. Normalizing high car payments is a real thing in America. I have seen people brag about having high car payments, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what precedent are we setting where people are literally bragging about having high car payments? I don't get it. I don't think I will ever. I don't think I'll ever get it. I don't. All right. Anyway, on to the next video. We have we have a woman here talking about. Let me make sure I mute it. Okay. A woman talking about how car dealers are trying to normalize high car payments. You know, but I even see regular people normalizing high car payments. It's not even the dealers. I think it's just people in general. You know, hey, if you pay it, then it's going to be normalized. And I'm not saying don't pay it because hey, we all need cars. But I mean, hey, what other option do you have? People like to act like we have other options. Like what? What's another option besides getting a high car payment? Like the guy said, walk, get some new shoes. That's a good option. But like, what if my job is like even 2 miles away? I'm not walking 2 miles for a job just so I can work for 8 hours and get off and walk 2 miles. That's gonna be a long day, and that's gonna cost you in time, energy, and opportunities. Now you can't work on your side hustle. Now you can't go to sleep and get ready for the next day. Now you can't play with your loved one, play with your kids. You know, you can't hang out with your wife. You know, you can't spend time with the bros. Maybe go and watch a game. You don't have time for that because you just got home after walking 2 miles, man. Your whole day was walking. I mean, hey, maybe that's your morning workout though. You know, I'm not going to say it's not a really a bad deal if it's your morning workout. You get it out the way. You kill two birds with one stone. Trying to get into shape. There you go. Anyway, yeah, I go into rants. Okay, just know that I will go into rants. But hey, just know it's a part of the show. It's a part of the show. All right. Anyway, my show. You know, it's my show here. We keeping it live. We keeping it live. Keeping it vibes. All right. So it says car salesmen are trying to normalize high car payments. Let me unmute the video because I am getting more professional here. I'm getting my skills up. I remember to unmute it first. Okay. All right. Let's hear what she has to say.
Trying to normalize high car payments. I have a question. Does that mean that real estate agents are normalizing the cost of housing? Does that mean that mortgage lenders are trying to normalize high mortgage rates? Does that mean that your car insurance agent is trying to normalize your high ass car insurance payment?
Okay, now that's a good question. And I see a lot of people, a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants just normalizing high everything. You know, they might call that price gouging. And I think some of it's true. I do think that a lot of companies did suffer during COVID, and I do think that inflation is really affecting companies and workers. But also, some of this stuff is ridiculous. It's like, why is the payments going up 40, 50%? Like, what happened? Like, what? This is not natural, okay? Some things are just going up exponentially high, exponentially fast. And it's like, you can't really explain it. So, car salesmen are just getting on the boat. You know, I'm not saying that they don't have a reason to normalize high car payments. Maybe they do. Maybe it's all legitimate, you know? But, we live in a capitalist society where supply and demand, well, supply and demand, determine the price, you know? So, hey, if you got people willing to pay $1,600 a month for a car, a lot of people willing to pay $1,600 a car a month, $1,600 a month for a car, you're gonna have, yeah, hey, they're gonna price you out, because there's somebody out here who's gonna pay $1,600 for a car. They're like, okay, why would I get two people to pay $600? Why would I get two people to pay $800? Why would I get two people to pay, whatever amount when I can just get one person to pay double, you know? Why would I get, people? It feels like companies are out here trying to sell to high earning people. You know, they're not out to sell to your brokenness no more. They're not out here to try to sell to your brokenness anymore. They don't really care. I don't think they care. They're like, you know what? I only want to sell to people that make money. You know, I just need a few people that make good money, so I don't have to sell to these poor people anymore. You know, why should I sell something? Why should I sell some? Why should I sell two for $100? Why should I sell two for $50 when I can just sell one for $100? You know, somebody's gonna pay for it, and there's people out there who's gonna pay for it. This is why I'm gonna preach to you, man. We need to boss up out here. You need to find something out, find a way to make extra money because we're all gonna need a second income. We're all gonna need, you know, possibly another person living with us, you know. And I'm not saying it's bad to have somebody else living with you, but you know, if it's not your family that you created, like, why do you want to live with this person? You know, if it's not your spouse, why do you want to live with this person? You know, like if it's not your mother, your father, you know, why would you want to live with this person? And when I say living together, I mean like living with people who you're like roommates, you know? Hey, even family members. Sometimes you don't want to live with your sister. Sometimes you don't want to live with your dad. Sometimes you don't want to live with your uncle, you know? But the way finances are looking right now, you might have to live with your uncle. You might have to bunk it up, okay? 'Cause we getting into a what is it called? Like a dual income society where you need to make two incomes or at least two incomes, or you need to have somebody else in your house that makes another income. That way you and that person can both afford the things that you need because they don't care about they don't care about you being poor. This is why you need to boss up. So you can get what you need, get what you want, live how you want, live with who you want. You know, if you are living with your mom, you know, you can be the one uh, you know, taking care of your mom instead of you depending on your mom. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, we gotta boss up so we can really make our own decisions. And also, you're living with your mom because you want to live with your mom and not because you need to live with your mom. You know, I want you to be out here. If you want to live with somebody, hey, go live with somebody, but live with somebody who you want to live with and know that if you were to move out or if that person were to move out, you will be able to take care of that place by yourself or you'll be able to move into a place and take care of yourself that way. So please, you know, I want you to win out here, man. I don't want you to have to be living with somebody who you don't care about. You know, a roommate, a friend, a cousin, a sister, a brother. I don't want you doing that, man. I want you to live in your own place so you can make all of your own decisions. Okay. Also, hey, if you're a guy, you really need to boss up. Okay, because you're not going to have anybody to save you out here. You know, you are on your own. You know, and hey, there's no safety net. So this is why you got to boss up. This is why I'm trying to boss up. You know, and it's going to be a lot more difficult in the coming years. So I hope that you really take this advice and really try to find another way to make money. I don't have the answers for you right now. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm still learning too. You know, right now I'm learning. You know, one day at a time. Okay, but I promise when I find out the answers, I will be living good. Okay, it's gonna work out one day for me, and it's gonna work out one day for you. You know, you just gotta really believe in yourself and really try. I'm not saying, oh, you know, just believe in yourself. It's going to happen, you know. Hey, just believe in yourself. It'll work out, I promise. No. I mean, you need to work hard. You need to find something to do when you get off of work. Don't get off of work and sit there and watch Netflix. I see you. I see you watching Netflix. You know, I don't want to see you go home and scroll on your phone. You know, I want to see you go home and work on your craft at least 3 times a week, you know, if possible. Because you still need to enjoy life, but you also need to boss up. And you don't got time to be having fun out here. You don't got time to be wasting your time. They're raising the prices on everything, like this woman said. Everything is going up, and it's going to keep going up, and it's not going to come back down. So, how many times have you heard or seen of prices going back down? Not me. Not me. Okay. Not I, said the Clyde. All right, let's finish our video. All right, I'm going to try not to interrupt her, but you know, I want to really provide some good commentary for you so you can enjoy the show, because this is a one man show. Hey, I'm here all day for you, man. After this extra vibes event segment, we're going to get into the main event vibes. Okay, so stick around. Let's watch this video.
Does that mean the loan officer at your local credit union is also like normalizing high rates? Does that mean that Girl Scouts are trying to normalize the cost of the cookies? I know you guys hate car salesmen, but I'm pretty sure that you just want someone to blame and blame inflation. Inflation doesn't discriminate, it literally affects all of us. Car salesmen are used to being the most hated profession. Bring it on, we have thick skin. Blame us. New cars are more expensive these days because they're basically like computers on wheels. Same payments that you guys think I'm normalizing are the same payments that I would pay if I was in the market for a vehicle.
Okay, so she is a car salesman. See, you blew me for a loop there. I thought she was out there buying cars. Hey, and I'm not saying just because you're a female. I'm saying this because I thought that she said car salesman. Car salesmen are trying to normalize high car payments. So hey, look, I just previewed the videos. This is a live reaction. I maybe watched like 10 seconds of a video. Then I'm like, okay, I'll use this one. And this lady, hey, she surprised me because I didn't think she was a car salesman. But yeah, pretty much she's trying to say, hey, the cars are, it's normal to have uh, high car payments. And hey, I'm not used to it yet. Okay. But I do believe that cars are definitely computers on wheels now. And I gotta say, I don't really like it too much. Call me old school, but I don't really like it too much. I like my knobs, okay? I like my little knobs and my clicky buttons. I don't like when you got a whole screen in front of you and you're just kind of like trying to navigate the screen while you're driving. I'm like, ain't this more of a distraction at this point? Like, what are you doing? Like, why do I have an entire iPad on my dashboard just to turn up the heat on my car? I need to just be driving, reach down, feel a knob, turn it, get back on my car, get back on the wheel. I don't like those little smart cars. But a lot of cars are built like that today. And I'm assuming it's making the mechanic's job that much harder. Because not only do they have to figure out how to work the mechanics of your car, but they also have to be an IST major and just to figure out how all these computers and buttons work in the car. But for me, I enjoy my knobs. I prefer my knobs. But yeah, she's right about that though. A lot of cars are just computers on wheels. But that I would argue that it's probably easier to make the cars that have just like the little computer on there because it's just a computer. You put a computer in there and then you put the computer in and then you just you hook it up to the wires and you're good. But the buttons, it's not just one big computer, there's different buttons that go to different things. But anyway, let's listen to her play the rest of the video. Our car salesman here with a really nice necklace. What does that say? I don't know, but it's a nice necklace. All right, let's watch the rest of the video.
If you don't want a car payment, cool. If you're gonna ride your car till the wheels fall off because you don't have a car payment right now, cool. But please stop shaming people that have a car payment because most of us do. And that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, most people do have car payments. And hey, I would never shame you for getting a car payment. I think that if you have a car payment, that maybe you can't afford, maybe you can't save up $16,000 right now. Maybe you can't save up $25,000 right now to buy a car, off, and that's okay. Everybody don't have $16,000 laying around. Everybody don't have like $20,000 laying around for a used car. You can't just come out here with a couple $1,000 like the guy said. You can't just come out here with like 3 or 4 grand and get you a used car to drive for about a year or so. You can't do that anymore. Now you need at least, I would say maybe $8,000 at the very least. But I'm going to say 10, really. I think 10 is probably the least. But I think maybe you might be able to find something for 8,000 out there. But I might be falling apart. It might be falling apart. Or hey, even if you probably get one of those older classic cars, like the 19 something car, car that been around for a long time. But also you're gonna have a hard time finding parts for that. So, it's trade-offs on everything. You can't really win here at all. You're gonna have one thing or another that really messes your life up. But yeah, normalizing our credit payments is a big problem. But I would go and say that, this is just the new normal. You know, it's just a new normal. And hey, you got to get used to the new normal. This is the new world. This is post-COVID world. Somebody says high car payment. I'm sorry, high car payment for 5 years worth almost. Oh, what's almost nothing after you pay it off. Yeah, so you could be paying a car payment for 5 or 10 years. I'm hoping not 10 years. You could be paying a car payment off for like 5 years, and still, yes, have to not have any money. You try to sell that car and they're like, sell. You can't sell this car. What are you talking about? You're not getting any money for this car. Anyway, here's the lady's name on this. I can't even pronounce this word. Is that a word? I don't think so. Um, yeah. So we have some commentators. Somebody said, I have a car payment and a reliable car. When my old car was paid off, my SHIT kept breaking down. Personally, I'll take a car payment with a reliable vehicle. Yeah. And that's what you get when you buy new cars. When you get a new car, you're good for a good 3, 4 years. You get a new car, you're good for a good 3, 4 years because you got a warranty. You know, just don't get into an accident, for the love of God. Don't get into an accident. But you got a warranty on that, so that'll save you a lot of money. You don't That'll save you surprise expenses. That's one of the pros to having a new car. You don't have to worry about random things breaking down. So yeah, that's one thing you got there for you. Somebody said, if it's too expensive, simply don't buy it and stop complaining. Well, I mean, hey, people, hey, nobody cares about your high car payment, man. Don't buy the car if you can't afford it, says somebody on the internet. Somebody says, you expect car dealers to manipulate interest to make money off the loan. Now, I don't know anything about that. So, hey, somebody said, go stock. I mean, hey, like I said, hey, the prices are going up for everything. This is why you need to boss up. I am so serious. It is urgent, okay? You think I'm on the internet because I want to be here? No, okay? I am an introvert. I do not talk that much. I don't like talking that much. But I'm like, hey, I heard that people that don't want to do things, I'm trying to get into my what's the word? I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. Okay. This is not a comfort zone for me. Sitting on camera. I don't like being on camera. I don't like taking pictures. And I don't like talking. But here I am on video talking to you for what's been over an hour now. And we are just chatting it up, man. Man. Let's go. Let's read another comment. It says, cars are depreciating assets versus homes that hold way more value. The car once drove off the lot dropped in sales value ASAP. A home these days is going up. The weight suck either way. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, they're comparing cars to houses. And we all know that cars are a depreciating asset and is a terrible investment for 95% of the cars that you can buy or even fix up. It's going to be a bad investment. So please don't think you're about to make some money off of a car. unless you're trying to make unless you're trying to go to work. Okay? That's how you can make money off a car. Indirectly make money off a car. Go to work, get a paycheck, now you make money off the car. Okay. Somebody else says, uh, we're just trying to normalize mathematics. Meanwhile, the payments just say that we're trying to normalize. Actually, make our job so much better. Oh, so much harder. Okay, I read that terribly, didn't I? Meanwhile, the car payments they say we're trying to normalize actually make our job so much harder. Okay. I guess that's a person. I guess that's a car salesman also. So we're getting getting a good idea of what the car salesman side of the uh, game here. Okay, so it says car payments are awfully often a necessity of life of most people, but your payment should be to commensurate your income. Pretty much, yeah. So they said, if you're trying to avoid it, it's better not to have a car payment. Yeah, I mean, but that's going to be hard also. Let's read two more. Somebody says, Anyone in need of a payday loan, personal loan, auto loan, business loan, kindly message. Did they just make me read an ad? Okay, we need two more because that one doesn't count. I just read an ad for a payday loan. Okay, don't click on that. Okay, don't find that guy. Made me read his comment, and I thought it was a real comment. Okay, somebody says, my car payment over $800 is insane. It better be a sports car and an 8-seater. I mean, but that's normal though, for an $800 car payment. That's becoming normalized. If you haven't looked at the car market recently, that person obviously hasn't bought a car in a long time because, hey, $800 is kind of normal nowadays. I wish I don't have to pay that, but if I'm looking at cars and $800 is the least I can get for a reliable car, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet there. But I'm trying to keep my bills as low as possible because, like we said, a man with no bills is a rich man, or a man with little bills is a rich man. So try to keep your bills as low as possible, like I said. All right. Anyway, yes, but also cars are particularly bad because I need to get a new one every 3 to 12 years, depending on the lease and how long it lasts, etc. So you can learn, especially not to like them. Yeah, it's a short term investment. Somebody mad about these Girl Scout cookies. What they say? Yes, 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 and no on the Girl Scout cookies. Uh, and no, the Girl Scout cookie is corporate greed, and Girl Scout cookies are incentivized to be called to mission. I mean, they should though. Hey, whenever I'm a sucker um for treats, especially chocolate. So if I see some chocolate, I'm like, I don't care where it is. You try to sell me some chocolate, I'm probably gonna buy it. Okay, because I love chocolate. I don't even like candy though. I just like chocolate. Okay, I'm not like, oh, I like all candy. No, I am very particular. Only chocolate, and it's not even like the hard candies. I need chocolate cakes. Something soft and chocolate. Not no like chocolate hard candy. I don't need all that. Anyway, here's the next one. Um, yeah, everybody wins but you when you normalize high car payments. The bank wins because they're like, hey, you gotta get a loan from me. You know, we can we can sell higher loans. We can charge more interest. We win. The car dealer wins because he's like, hey, now I get to make more money off these cars. I win. you know, and the manufacturers win because they're like, hey, I get to sell more cars also. You know, so the bank is getting interest. The car dealers are, getting bonuses and all types of incentives to sell more cars, and the manufacturers are getting more cars sold at higher prices. You know, that's why everybody's just, everybody's winning there, except for you, who have to pay, who has to pay this ridiculous car payment now. So, just keep that in mind. Like, who's really winning here? When you buy these cars from these salesmen, just think like, hey, what's my best interest? Because the car salesman is looking out for their best interest. They're thinking, what's the highest I can sell this guy this car, so I can get the most
Do
money.
you understand that?
Okay, see, I messed up again. See, I don't know why it doesn't automatically mute like it did before. Anyway, I'm trying to get the next video ready. Okay, hey, I'm a one man show here, so you're gonna get some errors for. Hey, give me a grace period. I need like the first. I need give me some grace period. Okay, I need to make some mistakes. Let me make some mistakes. Okay, and give me a pass. Give me a pass. I might mess up a little bit, but it's okay because I'm new here. Okay, I'm new here. And watch, when I'm flawless in my performance, y'all gonna be like, hey, I remember this guy was accidentally playing songs, interrupting himself. Well, not playing songs, accidentally playing videos, interrupting himself with his own videos. Anyway, so next we're going to talk about negotiating with the car salesman. 'Cause that's very important. Because the sticker price is probably not the price that you want to pay. Okay, so you got to try to get that guy down some. And I, for one, am not a good negotiator. Okay, this is a skill I need to learn. This is a skill everybody needs to learn. Because it can save you a lot of money. Okay. All right. So we're gonna watch this guy. Somebody says a high car payment is not a flex. It's a liability. And it is. I think it is. All right, let's hear what he got to say. And I forgot to unmute it. See? Another, what is it called? Rookie moment there. Another rookie moment.
Understand that when you go to the car dealership, it's a negotiation. Like, it's hundreds of thousands of car dealerships in the world fighting for your money, for your deal. Negotiate. Why do y'all be accepting these crazy ass deals? Interest rate out the roof, car payment out of this world, and then be complaining about it. And then when the car that you buy depreciate, y'all want to trade it in, even though now your car is worth a portion of what you owe, and you want to roll that into your new deal.
Okay, what he said there was important. You know, when my car was, I pay my car off now, but when my car was almost done getting paid off, I was thinking, maybe I should just go out here and trade my car in, put the rest of that onto my new car, and then boom, now I got another car, you know? And I don't have to pay the rest of this car off. I can just put the rest of the payments onto my new car. But now you're just rolling over more cost on yourself. You're just shooting yourself in the other foot. Like, remember you shot yourself in the foot earlier? Now you're shooting yourself in your other foot. How you going to walk anywhere, you know? And you don't got a car because you're walking. So you can't walk anywhere because you shot yourself in both feet. So don't do this, people. So yeah, I'd like what he said. Yeah, you're really setting yourself up for failure there. I would just, just go ahead and try to pay the car off as soon as possible. Once I got close to ending my car loan, I went like 6 months and I just went hard, paying like, thousands of dollars, every month, every month or so. I was just going in on it. I was like, you know what? All my money is going to paying this car off because I was like, the end of the tunnel is lovely. Not having a car payment is beautiful. All right. So, and then you can also just drive that car without having to pay a car payment. I live in a state where we have to pay, what is it called? Property tax. So, yeah, you got to pay a car loan and you got to pay the property tax. That's annoying. Now I just got a property tax. So, hey, it's a little bit better, even though I really hate car property tax. I'm like, oh my God, here it comes again. Anyway, let's hear what else he has to say.
Is you fucking crazy, bro? Anytime a dealership or a financing manager speak of an interest rate that's in double digits, I'm automatically in reconsideration mode. I'm not. You crazy? Y'all got rent money to pay on cars? Y'all crazy, bro. Really great, man. Y'all gotta chill out. Grow up. Do you understand that?
He said, grow up. Yeah, I mean, I think when he said double digits, I think he meant like, a couple thousand. I mean, not a couple thousand, but like a couple hundred, like $1,100, $1,100. So yeah. So here's his name. His name is Rel the Great. Cool guy. Make sure you follow him if you like that video. Actually, look. There you go. I'll follow this guy too. There we go. Boom. All right. So let's read some of the comments here. It says having a car payment in general is not a flex. Buy those cars with cash and really own it. See, but people don't have like $20,000. Okay, that's the quagmire there. I'm pretty sure if you can buy a car with cash, more people will buy cars with cash. Okay, so I don't have too many comments on this one. Let's read this person. Well, we only got like 3 good comments, so let's read the second one. It says, many people credit in. Oh man, see, I'm accidentally editing it by accident. Okay. All right. It says many people's credit and finance cash down don't even align with the type of vehicle they're purchasing. Okay. A lot of people are more concerned about being flashy versus functionality. I believe that. And how about maintenance? Okay, you drive a Benz, but you can't afford the oil changes. Get a Merc E and can't install the home. And can't install the home charger. Yeah, I believe that. I don't know what a Mach E is either. I was like, what the heck is that? I thought that was Anyway, I guess that's a good car. But yeah, I guess that's an electric car. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I should have added electric cars on here. I'll do one on electric cars. That'll be a good one. All right. Anyway, so pretty much they're saying, hey, you got a nice car, but like, is it really affordable? you know, you can't afford an oil change. Also, if you get an electric car, where are you gonna charge this electric car at? You don't own a house. You gotta so every time you gotta charge your car, you gotta go to a gas station and charge your car there. Then what are you gonna do with the gas station? You gonna sit in your car at the gas station? I don't got time to be sitting in the car to charge my car. Also, as of now, it's taking in 2025. It takes way too long to charge a car. You know, and the only thing that's gonna happen is, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's good now. But the only thing that's going to happen is they're going to jack up the prices for charging the car too, and then you're going to be really screwed. 'Cause guess what? Yeah, you're just putting yourself in a worse situation once they jack up the prices for charging your car. Or hey, how about you pay premium so you can charge your car faster? That's another way they're going to get you. You know. So just know there's always trade-offs. You know, there's always you get some, you lose some. You know, nothing's a fair deal there. Just be ready to leave. You know, if you get into a car, you know, you get yourself into a car dealership. You know, you're like, hey, you know, I like this car. I want to buy it. It's great. You know, also don't seem too enthusiastic. You gotta calm down. You know, you gotta be like, you know, this car is all right, but it ain't all that. You know, don't be hyping the car up. Don't be blowing the car up like that. Don't be like, oh, you know, oh my God, this is my dream car. I just love this car so much. I just, you know, they're gonna be like, they're just gonna see money. They're gonna see money in your eyes. They're gonna be like, this person is willing to spend a lot on this car. They really like this car. That means I'm about to put the price all the way up for this guy. So be ready to walk away, you know? Even if it's a car that you really love, even if you took your joyride and the guy made you feel like you were driving on clouds, you know, you got that new car smell, you know, and you're just driving around and you're like whipping the corners, you know, imagining yourself checking out the hot chicks, you know. Just remember, that new car feeling is going to wear off. But guess what's not going to wear off? Those car payments. So you need to make sure you're ready to leave at any time, okay? Don't feel like you're trapped there. You know, you you don't have to do anything, okay? Once you sign those papers, then you have to leave with the car. Okay, they're not going to let you take that back. But just make sure you don't sign anything until you see the car payment that you want with the length of time that you want, with the interest that you want, not anything less. Okay, so be willing to leave. Okay. Also, if you're gonna trade your car in, do it separately. Okay, because they're gonna devalue the crap out of your car. You know, they're gonna be like, yeah, I mean, it's an okay car. You know, I can give you about $1,200. I'll take $1,200 off the ground total. That'll take your car payment down $50 a month. You down $50 a month now. You know, I'm not talking math, but still, you know what I mean. Do it separately. That way, you get the actual value of your car. Also, I would do extra things too. Like I would get it what's the word? I would get it looked at from a professional to see how much it's really worth, or I would go online and try to see how much I can get for it online. You know, get you some unbiased opinions if possible. Somebody that's not trying to sell you a car at the same time you're trying to trade in your car. All right. Anyway, it says maintain emotions. You know, don't seem desperate. Like I said, don't be out there like, oh my God, I can't believe I love this car. Like if I finally got my BMW that I really want so much. I already know what it looks like. It's a drop top and it has two doors and it's silver. You know, and it's sexy. You know, my Camaro's orange, dark orange. You know, it has nice dark rims and it's a convertible. I'm sorry, I'm getting fantasies of convertibles, but my Challenger is not a convertible. My Challenger, I don't even know what color I want a Challenger to be. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. Check online for buying car options. Now, keep in mind, if you're buying a car online, you're not gonna be able to get a really good look at it. You know, you're gonna go there, and it's probably gonna be a little different than what you saw online. So make sure you go in person and check this car out. Don't do everything online. Don't be like, okay, I'm gonna go to a car buying internet place online. I'm gonna buy a car online because you're gonna get it and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, I didn't see these rips. I didn't see this in the picture. You know, so yeah, you want to make sure you don't set yourself up for failure there. Oops, what happened there? Yeah, you really don't want to set yourself up for failure there.
What?
Okay, so see, like I was about to set myself up for failure again by making another rookie mistake by not muting the video. All right, hey, it's gonna be. I wonder how many rookie mistakes I'm gonna have for this video. It is probably gonna be egregious.
What's the highest month?
Okay, see, I did it again. I did it again. All right, so here coming on to the next video, we are going to be talking about the highest car payments. So these are apparently, allegedly, these are car salesmen, and they're in a dealership, and they're pretty much just, hey, going around talking to those coworkers, hey, so what's the highest car payment you ever seen? What's the highest car payment you ever set somebody else with? You know, when's the last time you destroyed somebody's life with a car payment that you know they couldn't afford? Pretty much is what they're saying. So we're gonna watch this video and yeah, just we're gonna see what people are paying for cars from the car dealer's point of view.
What's the highest monthly car payment you've ever seen?
15 or 1600.
The highest car payment I've ever sold a customer to was $3,950.
Oh, wow.
The highest monthly payment I've seen ever was $1,800. Here, I think it was 13 or 1500. I can't remember.
2300.
1400 between there.
That's
damn.
Well, no.
What is it?
1500 even.
Okay, so they found out the average was about $1,964. Now that 3,951, I hope that person was a celebrity, millionaire, mattress chef, politician, businessman. I hope so. Anybody sign up for $3,950, that is egregious. Okay, even if you make $10,000 a year, a month, I still wouldn't have a payment for $3,950. I don't care what kind of car it is. That is egregious. Please don't do that, people. Come on now. Don't be out here paying that much for a car. I hope you ain't out here paying that much for a car, man. But yeah, $1,900, $1,900 is the average. And you know what really drove it up was that 3,951. That person just must have been balling out of control, you know. Somebody's telling me to upgrade my BMW. Okay. I mean, hey. I wish I had a BMW. But you know, we can't all have what we want. We all don't. I mean, even when I do get it, I know I'm gonna be paying off the, you know, for some maintenance and stuff. But I think it'll be worth it. Because also, if I do have a BMW, I'm gonna have another car. I'm not gonna have a main car for my BMW. I'm gonna have my BMW plus another car that's just, you know, for my everyday driving. You know, because I'm not trying to keep paying. If you get a nice luxury car like that, you need to make sure you're not driving that car every day. You know, don't be using these. If you got a nice car like a Mercedes Benz, a BMW, you know, a Porsche, don't drive that car every day. You're gonna waste a lot of time. I mean, you're gonna waste a lot of money. Okay. Bringing the nice cars out is for when you about to go somewhere nice. You know. All right, so selling a car for $3,950 a month should be criminal offense. Oh my God. Hey, but also you don't know that guy's finances. Maybe he making money. For $200K car, it's a 5-year loan. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you don't know that person's finances. That might be a drop in a bucket for him. Oh, $3,950. Easy work. maybe that person's making $50,000, $20,000 a month or something crazy like that. All right, so it says there's no way I commit to a car payment that high If I had that kind of money, I just buy it outright. Yeah, like why? I didn't think about that. Yeah, you might as well just buy it outright at that point. Like, what are you doing? Somebody says, I mean, but hey, maybe you're doing it for a business or something. I know people that buy a lot of cars for their business and stuff, and that probably works out for them. All right, so somebody says, people always freak out about these. The reality is, incomes vary much. Is incomes vary so much? Okay, yeah. Different payments mean different things to people and the people's lifestyle. If you make 40K a month, 4K a month isn't much. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like if you made like $50,000 a month, you go ahead and get that $3,500, that $3,950 car payment. You know. So yeah, that person must have been just balling out of control. Somebody says that's a great way to look at it. Uh, some clients at BMW don't blink an eye at a $1,500 car payment. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, but 1,500 including maintenance, including repairs. If you go to an accident, just throw the whole car away. Just throw it away. Somebody says, I'm stressing about my $350 to $400. Okay, down here stressing out, going from $350 to $400 when my lease is up this summer. Yeah. But are you really gonna find a car that's $400 a month this nowadays? I don't know. I really don't know. I won't know until I get back in the car market buying place, you know. Because like we said, the agreed upon price is different from the actual price. So, you know, once you get back in that finance office, they're gonna put the hammer to you. They're gonna put the axe to your arms and legs. We said this car with two arms and a leg. What are you talking about? I didn't know you really meant an arm and a leg. No, we really meant this car is an arm and a leg. Where's the hatchet? All right. So what else do we got here? All right. So yeah, like I said, high car payments is not a flex. You know. What else? Yeah. You got repairs and stuff, like I said earlier. You know what? Hey, is it true? Are we at the main event already? Wow. Okay, we made it. We made it. We made it to the main event. All right. Welcome to the main event, people. We made it. We made it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it to the main event, people. So the main event is a woman talking about how people are car poor out here. Okay. And you can be car poor. It's a thing. She didn't make it up. Car poor. We went over it earlier. Pretty much a person that is paying a significant amount of money on their car, where the car pretty much owns them. The car pretty much owns them at that point. Yeah, I'm only using a few sound effects. I'm trying to get used to using my like maybe 2 or 3. Then I'll jump around some more. All right, yeah. Anyway, so she's gonna talk about being car poor. Okay, it's our main event. I'm gonna drop in. I'm gonna let her talk for a little while. Then I'm gonna drop in and provide commentary because I am a content creator, not a content watcher. If you want to watch her whole video without my interruptions, you can find her here. Let's see if we can find her here. You can find her here. Being car poor. Her name is Sierra Nicole. Okay, so there she is. If you want to watch the whole video without me blabbing the whole time. But I like this video because she brings a lot of detail in it and she describes a lot of things. So let's hear what she has to say.
The thing is, experts recommend keeping transportation costs under 15% of your budget. Overspending puts you at risk. If your brakes fail or a home repair pops up, you might have no financial cushion, forcing you to put expenses on a credit card. Plus, cars come with hidden costs that add up really fast. Unfortunately, too many people have no idea where their money is going, let alone how much money is going toward their car. Whoa, well now that is not true, for me at least. I, for one, know exactly where my my money is going. Oh geez, that's my financial nemesis, Hat Kara. She wears hats and makes money mistakes like nobody's business. Hat Kara, do you even track your spending? Do you have a financial plan?
Okay, so yeah, pretty much she was just explaining car payments. She said 15%, um, 15% of your income should go toward your car. Now that's gonna be
Video. So
hard.
we already know that.
That's gonna be kind of hard, but hey, if you can figure that out, hey, better for you. And you can probably make that more possible if you live with somebody because living with a person is really gonna make your prices a lot lower. However, if you get into it with this person, you don't know where your money might go. They might be living in your car. Okay, so don't get into that situation. All right. So she also talked about why we're falling for being house poor. I mean, being car poor.
That too many people aren't keeping an eye on their small money decisions, but the same thing is happening to big car purchases too. And I think it's worth asking why we keep on falling for the car poor traps. I mean, Reddit is chock full of car poor stories, like this one where the poster shares that they spend $1,150 a month on their truck, or this person who wrote about their $477 a month payment for a Jeep, saying it was, quote, probably worst financial decision of my entire life. It's hard to read these and make sense of what was going on through these people's brains. I mean, how does over $1,000 a month of car payments ever sound like a good idea, especially for something that depreciates in value over time? The common claim is that new cars lose 10% or more of their value the minute that you leave the dealer's lot.
And that's a big one. That's the number I was trying to get. I was like, what is the percentage that the car depreciates when you leave? And like she said, 10%. So if I was to buy a used car, I would try to buy a car that's like maybe 20, 30,000 miles. That means they had it for maybe like a year or so before they decided to sell it. And I think that's still probably a good quality car. But you also didn't have to pay the drive off lot fee, which is 10% of the car's value being lost as soon as you drive it off the lot. So yeah. So if you are going to try to buy another car as new as possible, just gotta buy one that's like 30,000 miles off of it. But also that also doesn't mean that they've only had it for a year or two. They might have had it for a long time, but they're just sitting in the parking lot or just sitting in the garage, you know. So who knows, you know. Anyway, let's watch some more of this part.
I mean, think of all the things that you could buy with $1,000 a month. Weekend getaways, half of your rent, dinners out with friends. Or from an investing standpoint, throw $500 a month into S&P 500, and in 15 years, you would have nearly $200,000. Do 30 years instead, and you have nearly $1 million. And that is just if you decided to do a $500 a month payment instead of a $1,000 one. $500 is still a huge car payment to be tethered to. But what people don't always realize when signing on to buy or lease a car is just how expensive these suckers can really be. Going back to that SNL commercial that we showed earlier, it's easy for us to get anchored onto the due at signing cost and forget about all of the monthly payments that we're going to have to do for years after.
Yeah. So yeah, once you get that new car, you're like, hey, I'm good to go. I got me a new car. You driving off the lot with it. You feel good for about a week, for about a few months. Then after that, you're like, man, my money is starting to look a little tight now. Wait, I gotta pay this, that, and the third. Man, how am I gonna pay all this stuff off? You start looking at that car like, man, how much longer do I have to pay this car off for? Then you look and it says another 3.5 years. You're like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? Like, what did I get myself into here? All right, let's see what else she has to say.
The low upfront cost felt affordable.
Okay, so she's going to talk about financing cars now. And yeah, we talked about the pros and cons of financing a car. Yes, you can pay it month by month, but also you got to pay interest on that. And it's going to take you very long to finish paying it off. But also buying a car up front, that's going to be hard too. Because like how you got to save up that much money. And how are you supposed to save up that much money if you're still paying a car payment? So you have to pay the car off, then save up the money, and then buy another car, if possible. So yeah, it's a, it's hard. It's a hard situation there. All right, let's see what you have to say about financing cars.
But the high APR makes the car way more expensive in the long run. And that's not even factoring in costs like insurance, maintenance, registration fees. Do enough digging online and you'll find plenty of people who are speaking up about how overwhelming the car expenses are, especially when they finance their vehicle.
Although I don't completely regret my decision.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to watch people talk.
But if we go down the financing route, we have to consider the terms of the loan, like how long is it and what's the APR. And we have to consider whether the car that we're buying is really worth it, especially if the loan is worth more than the car.
Yeah, and that one's going to get you.
Which happens way more than you would think. According to the Washington Post, nearly 1 in 4 consumers owe more on such loans than the vehicle is worth.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's going to get you, man. Oh my God. All right. So that was some good information about financing the car. Pretty much. The next one is going to be talking about, what else is she talking about? Let's get that one. All right. I like this one. Pretty much she's talking about how we need cars now. Like you can't make it out here without a car. You know, they've got us by the short hairs. They got us, they got us every which way possible. they've they've circled the wagon on us. They've figured everything out. They've found every possible way to charge you, and you just can't get out of it. If you want to travel, if you want to get somewhere, you got to pay for it. And they know it. So you try to find all the ways. You're like, okay, well, I'll buy a car. Then you look at the prices. You're like, okay. Next option. I'm going to take public transportation. You try to take public transportation, they got you there too. That's good. That's what they're going to overprice you there also. You're going to try to get on the bus, and they're going to say it's $5 one way. You're going to be like, okay, $5 one way, $5 another way. Okay, that's $10 a day. I could do that. And then you look, and you're like, wait, okay, that's getting up there. 10, that's going to get up there. you know, that's going to be about $50 a week. Then you're looking at what, like $100 every 2 weeks, and that's not even considering the weekends. So now you're looking at $400 to get to and from work every month. $400, and if you need to go anywhere on the weekends, that's even more. And $400 a month is going to really eat into your paycheck. So you're like, $400 a month to ride in a car? To ride on a bus? I might as well get a car. Then it'd be sitting on this bus with these funky people. Do I want to be sitting on this bus with these funky people? Or do I want to be riding clean in my own car? You're going to be thinking about that, and you're going to be like, you know what? I think I'd rather just get a car at this point. So yeah, they've really got you everywhere, man. You got to really, hey, I don't have many answers for you right now, man. I'm sorry. My only answer and what is it called? Solution is to boss up. And I don't know what that means for you. Look, because I don't even know what that means for me. So hey, I'm just saying, hey, look around. Always be thinking about how I'm going to make money. How am I going to make extra money? What can I monetize? What can I sell? How can I make money any other kind of way online? Most likely, if you're going to boss up, you're going to have to use the internet some kind of way. One way or another, if you decide, hey, I'm going to boss up by doing Uber, I'm going to save my money and start a business. Well, guess what? You got to use the internet. So you're going to have to use the internet. And once you make your business, believe you got to put your internet on the business. You got to put your business on the internet. So just know you're going to be using the internet for something or everything for any kind of way you boss up. So get used to using these tools on the internet, get used to finding new ways to make money, thinking of new ways to make money, pick up some books, read about how you're going to make some money. And I'm saying it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind once you figure out, what you can do, or once you get an idea, or like once you figure it out. Because I'm going to tell you one thing now. You can make a good amount of money working at a job, getting a degree. I'm not saying getting a degree is bad, but I'm saying you can make a lot of money. You can make a decent amount of money, getting a degree, working at a job, possibly getting promoted. You could do it that way. However, I heard one quote. I forgot where I heard it from, but somebody said you can make a lot more money by yourself than you can from a job, you know? And I believe that wholeheartedly. Just put that in your heart. Like, hey, you know what? I can make so much money, more money by myself, by just putting my own hands into working, put my own time into working. Think about how hard you work at your job. If you're really hard working like me, you'll know, hey, I can make a lot of money, if I put all this energy into my own business, my own, endeavors. So please, try something. And I'm going to say also try and fail. I'm really big on failing, you know. A failure is good. That means you at least tried. If you didn't fail, that means you didn't try at all. And I would not advise you to not try. I would advise you to try whatever it is you think might be a possibility for you to make some extra money out here. Because it's going to be hard out here, man. It's going to get a lot harder within the next few years. And I really want you to be there with me when I'm celebrating, popping bottles, you know, making money. I want you to be out there with me. Hey, man, join me. Let's celebrate together. Don't celebrate now. If you broke right now, don't be celebrating. You should be out at the clubs, partying. Get your broke back in the house. you know, it's called opportunity cost. Okay. Right now, you have the opportunity to make more money. Don't waste it not making money. Okay. All right. So this part I think is very interesting. The topic sounds very entertaining. I haven't seen this part, so this is all live also. Uh, well, live reactions. It says they've made us need cars. You know. So let's see what she has to say about making us need cars.
And they don't want you to just want their cars. They want you to need their cars. The automobile industry has a long history of lobbying the government to make laws favor cars more than they favor people. It is crazy to realize that roads used to be made with pedestrians in mind until lobbying forced car dependence through poor urban planning. The Smithsonian Magazine has a great article chronicling the switch from when roads were ruled by pedestrians to becoming ruled by cars instead.
Okay, and I think this is interesting because I think in America we don't have a lot of places where you can just walk. You know, um, besides your urban neighborhood areas. You know, I don't think there's many places for us to just walk and just find entertainment in walking. Just like not like a mall. I mean like just like somewhere where you're not trying to be sold something, where you could just walk and not be sold things every two steps, You just be out walking, maybe going to a place and buy something if you want, but maybe not. Maybe just trying to hang out with some people, spend time with some family or some friends. There's not too many places like that in America. There's not too many hangout spots. The last hangout spot I remember was the college dorm room. you know, I would I would come out my dorm room and I would go into the main area where it was like a lounge and we would all just kind of chill out there and do our homework and hang out with friends and kind of hang out. That is the last hangout spot that I remember. Now, if you want to go anywhere, you're gonna be forced to buy something, or they're gonna be trying to sell you something, or there's gonna be cars, or something like that. So anyway, that's just wanted to put that in there. So they said when pedestrians rule the streets. Yeah, that's a good article to read. Maybe I should get into that. See what I can think about that one.
They write, quote, "When you visit any city in America today, it's a sea of cars, with pedestrians dodging between the speeding autos. It's almost hard to imagine now, but in the late 1890s, the situation was completely reversed. Pedestrians dominated the roads, and cars were the rare, tentative interlopers. Horse-drawn carriages and streetcars existed, but they were comparatively slow."
Yeah, and yeah, that's another thing. Like that's what I mean by like people were just out walking. Maybe that's why we have obesity in America, because everybody just walks out, walks outside and gets in their car. You sit at home on your couch, you watch TV, then you take a few steps, sit in your car, drive to work. And if you have one of those jobs where you just gotta sit down at a desk, you're gonna be sitting at your desk for 8 hours or so. Maybe get up to get something to drink, You have to talk to some coworkers, maybe file a paper or I don't know, print something out. But most of the time, it's going to be at a desk, and that means you are sitting down for the majority of the day. And I don't think we were meant to be sitting down for most of the day. Like, I don't think so. I mean, we do have uh, natural cushions on our backsides, you know. But I don't think we were supposed to be sitting down this much, you know. Me, I like physical labor. I like to be moving around, you know, moving up, active, Even if I did have like a sitting job, I would still be up, moving, active, just because I would have to, I have a lot of energy, One thing I don't have energy for is talking though. you know, it is so hard for me to talk for a long time. This is got to be the hardest thing I've ever done. Just talk to a screen like this. It might look like it's easy for me, but I am struggling right now. Okay, because I'm not really a social person, but I'm really. Hey, look, this is hard for me. Just know this is causing massive mental strain on my life right now. Hey, I'd rather be at a food place making some food, back and forth, moving around, keeping it busy, you know. But yeah, yeah. Let's see what else you have to say though.
Talked about this phenomenon in my video, The Problem with the Suburbs, and it unfortunately plays a huge role in the car poor trap. Because on one hand, cars can be expensive, huge liabilities, and they are a depreciating asset. And at the same time, most places in the US at least, make it insanely difficult to exist without owning a car. Vox writes about the impossible paradox of car ownership, describing its expensive yet essential nature. They explain that among one group of housing voucher recipients, quote, those with cars were twice as likely to find a job and 4 times as likely to remain employed. This puts people in such a difficult balancing act because yes, we have to be careful about falling into aspirational marketing and peer pressure that makes certain car purchases an ego boost and a wallet drain. And
yeah, like she said about the suburbs. The suburbs they do look nice. I gotta say, living in the suburbs, it looks like a nice type of life. However, you can't walk anywhere. You know, if you want to go to a store, you got to drive to that store. You know, I kind of I used to think it was nice to for families to live in the suburbs, but when I grew up, I lived in a city, and living in the city, I was able to just walk everywhere. We walked around and do trick or treating. We walked around just to walk around. You walked to go to the store, walked everywhere. I knew my whole area just by walking. I didn't need to be in a car to know my area. And I was able to just move around my area, like, all around all the blocks. I knew everything within, like, that couple blocks radius before I got lost, you know? But yeah, I realize kids now don't go outside. But, I'm just saying in general, just even if you just live some like, and I don't like living in cities. I'm going to say that for now. I don't like living in cities. But yeah, it's something about living in the suburbs where you can't really have freedom, especially if you're a kid or a teenager. It must be like a trap because, like, where you gonna go without your parents? You know, you can't go anywhere without your parents. You gotta beg your parents for a car, and how many? We're talking about cars right now. What parents can afford to buy you a car? So if you're a teenager right now and you're living in the suburbs, what are you really gonna do besides being on the internet, on your phone all day? And kids don't go outside either, so it's not like you can just go outside and play with your friends. At least if you lived in an area where you can walk out your house and maybe go down the street and see a bunch of people in one place, kind of hanging out, that'd be cool. Then you can actually make friends and talk to people within the community and not have to drive all the way out to one place. Because that's what makes it hard for people to hang out anyway. Like, if I gotta get in my car and drive somewhere, I'm not about to go to that place. But if it was like 4 minutes walking down the street, I might go, Anyway, let's see what the rest of the segment is about.
yes, we have to be wary of a car's hidden costs, from maintenance to insurance to interest rates. But at the same time, we can't always go without a car. or we risk losing our income. And we want to be careful about buying a car that won't break down and is relatively safe, especially when you consider how little education we get on the topic of buying cars. It's a tough line to balance. My opinion is that there is a smarter way that we can approach buying cars. I still wish that our urban design made us not so reliant on cars in the first place, but since we don't have that yet, we can advocate for it though. Cars are what we have for now. And I think that the smart way involves.
All right, so yeah, we're just gonna. So I think that's a good idea. But I think that's a good. I think you made a good point about, you know, having being forced to own cars because you need to have your car. You really need to, be in a position where you don't need your car. I mean, I'm sorry. You really need to be in a position where you don't need to pay high payments for your car but you need it though. You need to go to work. So, yeah, yeah, that was my show for you though. Let's see. Oh, we still got some more points here. But yeah, that is my show though. I got some other points here to just drive the point home. Um, yeah, you look rich, but you're poor. That's what car poor means. You look rich, but you're poor. You ride around in a nice car. You're looking rich, but you ain't got that much money. You ain't rolling like you look like you rolling. All your money's going into your car. Also, yeah, you might have difficulty paying for your food and rent. If you gotta decide, hey, should I buy my food or should I pay for my car? You should never have to deal with that situation. Should I buy my kids their school uniforms or did I pay for my car? you know, you really shouldn't be balancing like really important things with your car. Um, so yeah, is it really transportation or is it a financial burden? Like that's what you need to think when you buy a car. Like, okay, like, am I buying a car to get from point A to point B, or am I about to destroy my life for the next 3 to 5 years? Yeah, and if you're paying for your car, guess what? You can't travel. You can't go anywhere out the country. You probably can't go out of state. Probably can't go. Maybe you can go to the beach. Get in the car, go to the beach. Hopefully one's within like I don't know 4 or 5 hours away from you. Also, you can't pay debts. You know, that means your credit's going to get messed up. And God forbid you have an emergency. You know, you have an emergency, and you're also paying these high car payments. Guess what? That emergency is about to destroy your life now. So yeah, like we said, it takes an emotional toll. It really does. But yeah, that is that's the show, people. That is the Vibes by Clyde. Hey, I'm gonna have some more shows here, so make sure you subscribe if you like the Vibes by Clyde. I am about to be out of here. Thank you for watching me, and I appreciate your consideration of sticking through the whole thing. I know it's a long video, so hey, thank you. And I really appreciate you. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the Vibes by Clyde.